So thank you, Adam and Shawn, for taking time out for the Art of Fearlessly Giving Back interview. Can you tell everybody who you are and what your role is here at WebPT?
Yeah, so Shawn McKee, VP of Marketing at WebPT.
Jake Nero, I'm one of our enterprise sales reps.
And one of the first original employees, yes?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm Adam Ross, VP of Sales.
So you guys could work, you're kind of all rock stars, right? So you could work basically anywhere. Why work at WebPT? Go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah, we can start with me, sure. I think when I first started interviewing with WebPT, there were a lot of things that stuck out for me. The company was growing fast, and I've been at companies where you grow fast and you lose that culture as you grow, and you start to sort of get more corporate and things change and people start to build these fiefdoms and things like that. And I think through the growth I've seen at WebPT, and I've been here about 2 years, they've really been able to keep true to their roots, keep true to the kind of everyone owns their own space and that entrepreneurial approach to things. So that's really refreshing to see a company hold to that culture.
Very cool. How about you, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the ability to make a difference every day. So, and again, given my history, whether it's working, with a prospective customer and telling them about all the value that WebPT can deliver to their organization, or leveraging the advocacy of a current customer, or then you're working with marketing or product development and engineering teams to figure out ways that we can make WebPT even better. That's what excites me and gets me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting because you have Jake, who's been here 9 years.
Yeah.
I've been here 6 weeks.
I love it. That's awesome.
Very different perspective in terms of what we're looking at.
So you actually just chose to work here.
I just chose to work here.
That's awesome.
And I think the main reason I chose to work here, well, I know the main reason I chose to work here was really having a purpose. The company has a purpose. And I've done everything from startup to over 100 million, worked in a $1 billion a year company, ran my own startup, and then, done everything in between. And what I found throughout that adventure was the companies that succeed the most are the ones who actually have a vision and a true purpose that people can get behind. And when people can do that, they get out of bed to come to work because they're part of something instead of just doing something for themselves. And so when I saw that here, and I've been following these guys since 2009, I'm a native from the Valley, and so knowing Heidi and knowing Brad and watching what they've done with this and watching the culture they've built and the purposeful mission and vision that they had here, I always wanted to be part of it. So when I got the opportunity, I jumped at it.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome. That's really awesome. So tell us about the core value of service, creating Raving Fans. This is the core value that we're focusing on with you guys, and it makes perfect sense that you're the team that we would interview for that. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, we really tie it back to everything we do because, with Heidi's background being a therapist, she understands what it's like in the business, and so we really kind of look at everything we do and say, how does this affect our members? Is this good for our members? And in turn, how does that affect the patients that they see? Because at the end of the day, it ties into that bigger purpose, and it's, we are a company, but without our, we call them members, without those members, we don't have anything, and we're not able to serve, the broader healthcare industry as a whole.
I love that you call them members, too. I was corrected earlier. They're not customers, they're not clients, they're members. It's very cool.
Yeah, because what we've done is we've taken WebPT and we've built this community, right? We've built this online community that connects therapists from all over the country, and they're not just a customer to WebPT, they're a member of this online community, and they're not only connected with us and our team, but therapists everywhere that use WebPT.
I think in healthcare it's been an underserved community as well.
Absolutely.
I think they're forgotten a lot. There's physicians and nurses, and then therapists a lot of times I think get left out of a lot of things. So.
Yeah, and I think the interesting part is, so with Shawn and his team, they're the first touch to creating a Raving Fan, right? In marketing, it's the very first experience they have with us. Then when they come over to sales, we're the second experience. And when I got here, one of the things that I thought was really interesting about the sales team was the motto of, we will not do anything that is not right for our member.
Amen.
So we don't sell here. We just facilitate the buying process because the members want to be part of this greater community. And it's very unlike any other sales department I've ever seen. And so I think from the first touch to the second touch all the way through, the entire mantra is just how do you do what's right by the member first, which creates ultimately Raving Fans.
And that ultimately makes it easier for the folks that are serving your members once they come on board to do the right thing. I worked for a software company and stood before someone that got sold something or maybe misunderstood what they were buying.
Right.
And they thought that it did something it didn't do. And so to put your employees in that situation and the client or customer member in that situation is also something you want to not do. So the sales part of it is very important as far as the ongoing relationship.
It's critical, right? Setting them up for success, both our members and our customer service reps, is very, very important because they're the glue, right? Our customer service department, account management, they're the glue that's going to keep that relationship over time. And that's going to build the advocacy, which then kind of feeds right back in to marketing and starts the whole process over again for new opportunities.
That's awesome. So the charity or the organization that we're focusing on with this particular interview is PT Day of Service. So how do you think PT Day of Service exemplifies the ability to create Raving Fans? I mean, they're really a good example of that. They're in 42 countries. It's a pretty amazing thing. Tell me what you think about them.
I think it's neat, when I look at the industry, what they've been able to do to unite people. Of course, unite therapists, but also vendors like ourselves, that we have therapists, but of course a lot of us non-therapists, we all can come together for the greater good. And again, having known Ifosa from the past and what he's doing and the rest of their team there, it's really cool to see it take off and to see the success that they've had. And then, when I talk about uniting therapists, and then of course taking that a step further and then going out and really making a difference and delivering value to the community, it's really, really cool to see, and it's fun to be a part of.
Yeah, I think it's, I think it goes back to that sort of therapists may be a little bit underserved community or not well represented. I think just bringing awareness to the benefits of physical therapy to communities that may not have access to it, right? You don't have to live with this pain or do these different things, and you may not have the access to healthcare that you need, but let us show you some things that physical therapy can do, some exercises to help people kind of get through that and continue to bring this kind of solution to people that may not have access to it.
I think their whole mission with PT Day of Service is actually to give folks an example to see the service that PTs do, and they're really all about kind of getting the message out there globally. Really, it's an amazing thing. What do you think, Adam? How do you think that they exemplify this value?
It's interesting because I'm new to the PT world, and I honestly never looked at PT the way that I should have, or the way that I guess the doctors that I've had in the past never recommended it to the level that it needed to be. And I've learned so much over just the last 6 weeks being here and going out to clinics and learning about it, that I think the biggest value that they bring is that awareness piece of it, right? Because my wife, for example, has gone to a chiropractor for years. I started here 6 weeks ago. I had her go to a PT her second week that I was here. She's made more progress in 4 weeks with a PT than she's ever made with a chiropractor, right? And so it's just bringing that level of awareness. I agree with exactly what they said. Is that's the key to helping, I believe, society build a sustainable health, right, beforehand, and preventative health, and always waiting until something breaks. So.
That's really what it comes down to. I've had Achilles tendon surgery. I've had my shoulders done. Being able to dry my hair was really a big deal because my shoulder got frozen. If I didn't have a physical therapist, I wouldn't be able to do this, touch my nose, right? So it's really important that what you guys do actually drills right down to people being able to live, walk, get in and out of their car, work, take care of their families. It's really a big deal.
Well, for me, that was the beautiful part, is that we're not the ones healing the people. The PTs are the ones healing the people. Mm-hmm. We give the PTs more time to heal people.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
That's the key to what I believe we do here.
That's awesome. How could you not take that job? I mean, when you really think about it, right? I mean, it's a really huge thing.
Absolutely.
So what can you tell other companies about the benefits of being socially responsible? Because WebPT really, we're highlighting 6 charities in this particular episode of Paintings, this particular series of visual journalism, but you guys actually do socially responsible things all day long, like, you know, between collecting packages for kids for school, getting back to school, and you guys are doing stuff in every area all day long. What can you tell other companies about the benefit of doing that?
I mean, it's contagious. I think, and if you can find, right, especially when you're building, I've had the opportunity to see it, of course, starting with somebody like Heidi and other people that we brought in along the way. If you find the people who are intrinsically driven to do the right thing and to have that level of social responsibility, that, you know, it just breeds and it just continues to grow in the organization, and then it's just a natural way of doing things every day, whether it's internally, right, with each other as colleagues, or with customers, or then as we're talking out in the community. It's just something that happens by nature.
Yeah. I think for, you know, when I look at kind of all the things we do to give back, it's we're all very fortunate, and it's really excellent to get out there and actually spend time in the community. I think we do kind of quarterly team events where we all get together and go bowling or whatever. And last year, by far, the one that was got the best response from our team was one where we went and went to an after-school program for underprivileged kids, helped them build Christmas ornaments, set up their Christmas decorations and all that. And it just ties you back to what you're doing it for, right? We're all very fortunate, we're all very lucky, and I think when you have a place that encourages that, it really allows people to feel, as Adam said, part of there's something bigger beyond just the healthcare space.
Well, and I think so for me, looking at it, coming across my entire experience, is that this is, in business, we think about ourselves a lot, right? It's a internal game. We're always trying to get to the next level. If you're in sales, you're always trying to hit that number. If you're in marketing, you're always trying to get that next lead. You're inside yourself a lot, right? And focused on internally. And so what this does is it allows organizations to help their people get outside of themselves and think about other people. And that intrinsically, as you said, makes them better people. And by making them better people, they become better employees, and they're better able to serve your business, right? And so that, to me, is what other organizations can take away from being socially responsible. Is it's not about you, it's about helping them see the bigger picture of what they can do. You're just helping build the platform for them to be able to do that.
I was listening to an interview yesterday while I was painting with Pitbull talking to Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins asked him what was the thing that he was most proud of, and he talked about a charity concert he did for one of the schools that he sponsors back in his hometown, and that he was so happy that he got into a point of success that he could give back in that way, and that was his most memorable moment. I think, you know, that's what happens when we give back. It actually makes us realize how fortunate we are, and it empowers us to continue to do what we're doing. So it's very cool that you guys are doing it. So this is another personal question. So this is about you and being fearless. I mean, you know, you're working in sales. I mean, sales and marketing is not for wimps, right? You know, there's got to be moments in your working career where you've had to deal with a little fear. What can you tell other people about what you've learned about being fearless?
Fear is temporary.
Fear is temporary.
Fear is
just like
natural,
pain.
right? Fear is natural.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's the way I always look at it. I grew up with the saying that pain is temporary, right? And it's true. So is fear.
Yeah.
And every great thing I've ever achieved was on the other side of fear. Right. So if I was afraid to do it, I forced myself to do it. When I jumped out of the plane for the first time, right, it was like, oh crap, but here I go. And then I went and did it 162 more times. Right?
Wow. Really? Like actually 162 more times?
162 more times.
Wow, adrenaline junkie. Love that about you. That's cool.
Started my own company, had to shut it down after a year, lay off 17 employees, right? Talk about fear. That builds a lot of fear.
Right.
But that led me here.
Right.
So, you know, from my perspective, fear is a temporary thing until you realize that you actually have the guts to go past it. So.
And failure is part of life. You know, it's just part of the deal. I mean, it's part of moving forward. You have to fail in order to succeed. I'm glad you mentioned that. How about you, Jake? I mean, you've been here since the beginning.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I think this goes back to one of our core values, which is F up, own up.
Yep,
right.
Which is the painting I'm working on.
Yeah, and naturally, right? Fear, you know, comes with anything that's new or unexperienced, and you have to be willing to take that step, right, where you've never gone before. And again, working at a place like WebPT, right, where we're moving so fast, we're always doing things for the right reason. You're able to set fear aside, right? Because you know that, hey, you know what? I'm doing this for the right reason. I could fail. It's very possible. However, this is a calculated risk that I'm taking. And if something happens, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to figure out how to do it better the next time. But what you find a lot of times is that on the other side of fear, right, that is only temporary, as Adam said, is some great opportunity for success.
You probably wouldn't have thought of had you not fallen down and gone boom.
Exactly.
It's always been the way it is for me.
Yep.
How about you, Shawn?
Yeah, I think one of the things I've learned over time is whatever the thing you're afraid of, the fear is worse than the actual thing. You always
You're right.
you build it up in your mind, and it's worse and it's worse, and you get to the thing and you do this thing you didn't want to do, and then you're like, oh, that went better than I thought. It doesn't always happen that way, but most of my experiences have been that way, and it's, I think everyone says it, right? If you are reaching for something that's hard, the fear pushes most of those people away, so they're not going to reach that level. But if you're willing to go through that fear, the temporary pain, discomfort, then you end up in a place where you look back and say, look, I did this, and then it gives you kind of that courage to go to the next level and the next level and keep pushing forward.
Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for the work that you do at WebPT, and I look forward to re-listening to this interview and coming up with your painting and focusing on the core value of service, which was really what this whole project is about. It's really about service and helping WebPT and also the 6 organizations that we're sponsoring to create Raving Fans. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.